In international business, there are two types of operating companies. There are B2B and there is B2C as well. The difference between these two is who the final consumer is. They mean business to consumer and business to business. So a company can sell its products to another business, that is B2B, a juridical entity, or it can sell its products to an individual like you and me, and we call him a consumer, that is B2C. The first B comes from the business, the seller. So in both cases, companies must engage consumers and build profitable relationships with them. However, depending on the type of consumer, the type of buyer, we talk about separated markets. In this video, we discussed about the four most important markets there are: the consumer markets, the business markets, the governmental markets, and institutional markets. First things first, you can always divide markets infinitely depending on your evaluative criteria, but when we talk on a global scale about the most important ones, those are these four: the consumer, the business, governmental, and institutional market. Each market has different buyers. All buyers have a different type of behavior, and all buyers have a different buying process when they want to buy something. So for example, when you talk about consumer markets, the buyers are individual persons like you and me. When we talk about business markets, we talk about other businesses, so companies, juridical entities that buy from other companies. If you would like to watch a video about the buying behavior and the buying decision process of a business or of a consumer, you can watch the video I created about this in the info cards right here, or find the videos in the descriptions down below. Consumer markets consist of all the individuals and households that buy or acquire goods and services for personal consumption. The simplest model of consumer buyer behavior is the stimulus response model. Consumers vary greatly in terms of cultural, social, personal, and psychological makeup. Understanding how these differences affect consumer buying behavior is one of the biggest challenges marketeers face. As a simple sum up, when we talk about consumer markets, we talk about individuals like you and me, about persons who buy products and services for their own consumption. So they buy these products for themselves, not in order to make another product from them to sell it further for a profit. Let's take an example of building a dog shelter. Maybe you want to build such a dog house in your garden for your own dog. You will go to the market or basically to a company, buy the wooden planks you need, assemble the wooden planks to make a house for your dog and keep it in your garden. That is called personal consumption because only you use it. If it was to build that same house and then sell it further maybe to a neighbor for a profit, then it would be B2B, it would be business to business in order to make profit, and then we talk about business markets. The business markets comprises all organizations that buy goods and services for use in the production of other products and services, or for the purpose of reselling or renting them to others at a profit. Business buyers usually face more complex buying decisions. The buying process tends to be more formalized, and finally, buyers are often more dependent on each other. Business demand is derived demand, as it derives from the demand for consumer goods. If consumers' demand increased, so does the demand of businesses. Compared to consumer markets, business markets usually have fewer but larger buyers and tend to be more inelastic and fluctuating than consumer demand. The business buying decision usually involves more and more professional buyers. The main difference are in the market structure and demand, the nature of the buying unit, and the types of decisions and the decision process involves. In other words, and as a summary, when we talk about companies, the juridical entities, corporations, we talk about business markets because we talk about other businesses buying from other businesses. When we talk about B2C, we talk about consumers, about individuals, like individual persons like you and me. The consumer and business markets are mostly common and they encounter individuals. However, for companies' points of view, there are more profitable markets when they talk about making profits, and those are the governmental and the institutional markets. Let's talk about them. Institutional markets consist of schools, hospitals, nursing homes, prisons, and other institutions that provide goods and services to people in their care. Institutions differ from one another in their sponsors and their objectives. Each institutions have their different buying needs and resources. Many individual markets are characterized by low budget and captive patrons. To give you a clear example, let's think about a hospital. That is one type of an institution, and each hospital has to provide food for their patients that stay there for whatever, more than one night, right? So that institution has what it's called a buying agent. So that buying agent knows the profit that makes when they buy something comparing businesses. So he will choose, depending on the budget it has, he will choose the supplier for food for their business, because remember, institutions usually have low budgets and they try to make the best price possible for, well, the best quality, hopefully. And finally, government markets are federal, state and local government units. In most countries, government organizations are major buyers of goods and services. To succeed in government markets, seller must locate key decision makers, identify the factors that affect buyer behavior, and understand the buying decision process. About both buying processes of customers and of businesses, you can find videos that I've created in the info card right here or in the links down in the description. Some final aspects. Government organizations typically require suppliers to submit bids, and normally they award the contract to the lowest bidder. Government organizations tend to favor domestic suppliers over foreign suppliers. Most of the governments provide would-be suppliers with detailed guides describing how to sell to governments. One thing to remember and to mention is that when we talk about governmental purchases, there are a lot of eyes and there is a lot of pressures on the purchases, because everybody knows, everybody wants to know where the taxpayers' money go. This was everything for this video. I hope you remember all the differences between the consumer and business markets, between the institutions and government markets. Remember that both consumers and companies, they have different buying behavior when they want to buy something. They go through the same process, although it's a separated one for consumers and for companies, but there is the same process for all companies and the same process for all consumers. If you'd like to watch videos about the buying process of consumers or of businesses, watch them in the info card right here or find the videos in the description below. One more thing before you go watch another video of mine. If you're an entrepreneur, a manager, or you own your very first business and you're watching these videos to learn about marketing and public relations, to build your business plan for the company or to build your marketing or communication strategy, you want to check the links down in the description. I've created a professional academic manual that goes step by step through all the information you need to know in order to be able to create a personalized marketing strategy, a personalized communication strategy, that it is a whole business plan for your company. You will also find a notebook that once you complete after you've read the manual, it is your very first business plan personalized for any type of company you may own. So therefore you want to check the links down in the description. If this video helped you, you can thank me by buying me a coffee. There is a link in the description for that. I run on a lot of coffee to create these videos, to research the information, to film the videos, to edit and post it on YouTube so you guys can watch it for free. And you may also become a member for my channel. Now you can join and support my channel. There is a button below the video that you may want to check. And also there is the classical thank me button, that is a like, a subscribe or a comment. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. You know how YouTube is nowadays. And this was everything for this video. I'll see you at the next one. Bye.